how comedy shows happen, but I'm going to start it off with the question. The question is, who here tonight has never heard of me up until tonight? 5. 2, 5. Okay, to those of you, the 5 of you, I say, sorry. I know you got excited, you saw the ticket, you saw the last name, and then I walked out and you're like, Enrique got bigger. The only reason why I ask who has never seen or heard of me before is because if you have, then you know the type of show that I do. And you know the type of show that I don't do. Like, I'm not here to tell you who to vote for, who not to vote for, what shot to take, or what baby to get rid of. That's not for me to say. And if you're already offended, you just missed the whole point of that. I'm telling you what I'm not gonna do. I promise you, I am here to entertain, not offend, okay? We're gonna have fun with everybody, starting with me, but I'm just gonna let you know, we are living in a very different time. I've been doing this so long, I always figured as long as I'm being nice, I shouldn't have any issues. But it's a very different time. This is year 27 for me. 27 years of being a comedian. And in those 27 years, I never had to worry. You know, when I first got started, 1997. I was clean shaven. Yeah, I had hair. I know, look at some of you. What happened? Huh? Vaccine, I know. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Sorry, Florida. I'm kidding. I said vaccine. Some of you were like, I told you. Yeah, no.
Te dije, el gordo dijo, yeah.
And oh, by the way, I have some friends that tell me, dude, man, you're making money now. Why don't you get the hair thingy? I said, for what? Well, you know, some women, they want a guy with hair. Well, good for them. And they're not lying. I have gone out with some women that made it a point to tell me that hair was important. One told me flat out, I need to be able to run my fingers through your hair. Yeah? And I told her, hey, look, if you go deep enough, you're gonna get your wish. You were not specific on location. Hey, you want hair, you want pelos? I got you. But yeah, 27 years of being a comedian. And in those 27 years, I have seen a lot of comedians come and go. And I feel very grateful that in all that time, we've still managed to maintain a certain level. So I feel like we're doing something right, which feels weird to me because now I feel like you gotta be very mindful. Okay, you gotta be extra mindful. Like, 27 years of being a comedian, I finally started hearing people tell me things that I've never heard before. I started hearing people tell me things like, hey, Fluffy, I grew up watching you. Which is an incredible compliment. Because that doesn't just say that you're a fan. That says that you're invested. That says that you've been following this career for a very long time. Some of you, the first time you saw me perform, you were kids. And now some of you are here tonight with your kids. And so I just want to say thank you for all those years of trust and continuing to come back to see the show. It means a lot. Hearing someone say they grew up watching me, that is one of the most beautiful compliments any entertainer can receive. And I understand that now with therapy, that's what that means. Look, I'm not gonna lie, the first time I heard someone tell me that they grew up watching me, I didn't know how to handle it. I didn't know how to process, because nobody wants to feel like they're getting old. So the first time I heard it, I was like, second time I heard it, I was like, buy a hat. The third time I accepted it, I was like,
Many years ago, when I first got started, all of this was land as far as the eye could see. It was a very different time, and
by the way, I don't know why my old voice is white. He just is. I tried doing the Mexican voice, but you don't take him as serious, you know? Just,
No, pues chingue su madre, cabrón. Ahí andamos en el rancho y nos mandaron a la chingada, güey. Está bien difícil.
without giving too much away, there's an episode of Family Feud coming out very soon that I'm gonna be on. Yeah. It is the celebrity edition, so it's Fluffy and Fluffy's family versus Fat Joe and his family. So yeah, it's Fat Joe versus Fluffy because apparently the producers have a great sense of humor. Anyway, long story short, I flew in some family from the East Coast to be on the show with me. The show went over very well. You'll find out who wins later. Here's the deal. The next day, my sister, who was one of the people I flew in, she hadn't been in California in forever, and she was like, can we go to Disneyland? And I'm like, sure, let's go. So it was her and her husband, Gordy, and I took them to Disney. And we get on a couple of rides, and just so we're clear, that's not what made the news. No. I said that last night, and someone was like, oh, because he fit. No. Some people, right? Yeah. We get on the Cars ride at California Adventure. And halfway through the Cars ride, the car stops on the track. And my sister looked at me, she goes, is this supposed to happen? I go, no, the check cleared. We're supposed to finish. This is, we paid. It's supposed to work. No, just... It took the Disney people about 20 minutes to come get us and take us out of the car. So we're sitting there outside in the sun for 20 minutes. I had no problem with that because I am mocha. I'm okay in the sun for 20 minutes. My sister, she's twice as dark as me. She's like freaking, Apache. She's, freaking Azteca. Just, Her husband, on the other hand, he's from Minnesota. He almost died. Oh, don't you know? Yeah, so while we're sitting there in the car, waiting for the Disney people to come take us out of the car, the people waiting in line realize that the ride has been shut down. And so from the ride, you can see the line. People see the car on the track, and then they see who's in the car. And all of a sudden, cell phones start coming out. And by the time we left Disney, TMZ had already reported the story. And you can Google this, okay? TMZ reported the story. Before we left the park, it said, Fluffy stuck on LA freeway at Disney. I thought it was cute. I thought it was silly. I thought it was funny. I thought it was okay. Until I read the comments. Oh, some of you are dicks. One lady wrote, just because you're tall enough to ride doesn't mean you're small enough to fit. A guy wrote, the car got tired. Another guy wrote, you're Mexican, couldn't you fix it? And that was Martin, yeah. So, now, we perform outside of the United States, even if it's next door in Canada or Mexico. Martin's first question to the audience is, do we have any Americans in the house tonight? Because no matter where we perform in the world, there's always a handful. So that night, Martin takes a stage and he asks the question, do we have any Americans here tonight? Not knowing that earlier in the day, at that same casino in the Grand Ballroom, there was a end-of-year holiday party from an American company from right across the water in Detroit. And they were having this end-of-year celebration, and they were there pre-gaming since noon. partying it up. And I guess the party planner for the event thought it would be an amazing idea to end their party with laughter. So this person bought all of the tickets to my show that night and gave them to that company. Well, 7 o'clock rolls around and everybody stumbles in, takes their seats, and then Martin walks out and he asks the question, do we have any Americans here tonight? And instead of getting a yay, woo, right here, he got, they were so drunk they started chanting, USA, 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 USA. I'm in the dressing room, I'm hearing this, I'm like, why are we here? We could have done this in Detroit. You know what I'm saying? I had to fill out paperwork. I'm like, this is not cool. So during intermission, Martin comes backstage and he tells me, bro, I don't know if you heard. Oh, I heard. You might want to mention it. I go, oh, I will. So at some point during my performance, I told the audience, so a little bird told me that there might be a couple of Americans here tonight. Is that true? Sure enough. And they started doing it again. USA, USA, USA. And then it got quiet and you could hear, America. I said, ladies and gentlemen, do you understand what just happened? We just made history. And people in the front row got their arms crossed. They're like, what are you talking about, history? I said, we just made history. Who would have ever thought you'd see the day where thousands upon thousands upon thousands upon thousands of Americans would cross a border? To see a Mexican. Thank you for 27 years of support.